again to highly questionable. I think we missed football already. Bo, what's the best thing on the show today?
Beyonce.
Okay, it's always that, isn't it? Whenever she's on the show, she's the best thing on the show. Vamos, papi.
Do you respect Cam Newton making no apologies?
I do. I love this about Cam Newton. I like Cam Newton more today than I did any time before today because he is unrelentingly authentic, and you might only like that authenticity when it behaves, but sometimes it's defiant. Sometimes it's, look, you're offended? I'm cool with that. Listen to Cam Newton here offering no apologies for much of anything.
I mean, I've been on record to say I'm a sore loser. Who likes to lose? You show me a good loser, and I'm going to show you a loser. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to it's not a popularity contest. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to win football games.
He is not going to genuflect. He is not going to bow. If you want him broken and humbled, you are not going to see him broken and humbled. I always prefer my athletes that way. Ricky Henderson, Charles Barkley, Terrell Owens, Barry Bonds. He's going to be defiant to the end, even when he loses.
Like, I do respect the fact that he refuses to be humbled, if for no other reason than why do you want him to be humbled so bad? It doesn't change the fact that he looked ridiculous. Like, that's the whole thing about this story. He looked ridiculous. It's not a big deal. We keep it moving. What's crazier to me, though, is he's had to answer for not recovering that fumble. His explanation is that where the ball was, he would have had to contort his leg in such a way where he couldn't get the ball. I don't know exactly what happened, but I do know this. Do you think that dude all of a sudden stopped caring about winning at that moment? Like the dude that you see go out and try to waylay DBs all the time. You think that was the time that he was going to stop caring?
I do think, though, Bo, I wonder how that goes over in his locker room when Thomas Davis is playing with his arm stitched up and Jared Allen is playing with a broken foot. I do wonder how that kind of honesty goes over even in that room where they're like, wait a minute, you're going to honestly tell everybody that you didn't want to get injured on our most important play of the season? Maybe injured?
No disrespect, but y'all be 5-11 if I wasn't here.
That's one way to answer it.
You know, there is one thing that Cam Newton wanted to do today in that press conference, and he never did it. He wanted to scratch his eyebrow.
Oh, really? Like that? Yeah.
Very
subtle. I feel like he kind of did do that.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, wow.
Both ways.
Okay.
Both of them.
A real eyebrow scrubbing there. Okay, very good.
I'm confused. What the is going on with the Kings and George Karl?
Yeah, so we got word that the Kings were going to fire George Karl. Those whispers were out. Now, why'd they tell us they were going to fire him after the All-Star break instead of just, fire him at the All-Star break? I don't know, but now the Kings have said, nope, never mind, we're not going to fire George Karl. Except they're probably going to ultimately wind up firing George Karl. As far as ownership messes in the NBA goes, is anybody topping the Sacramento Kings? Because this has actually gone better than any of us expected. How about this? A team with Rajon Rondo as the point guard leads the league in pace. They're the fastest team in the NBA because of compromises George Karl made. Now he's probably going to get fired, but we don't know when. But we think he will because they're the Kings.
They are leading the league in pace. They're also giving up an enormous number of points. 120 last night to Cleveland. They're not playing any defense whatsoever. What I find great about this entire story is I know two things about the Sacramento Kings this season, and it's the only two things I've heard all season. One, Boogie Cousins seems to be a lot better and unstoppable. Two, George Karl is going to be fired. George Karl, we've been hearing about this since the moment he was hired, that he was going to be fired, and yet he remains. For now. Maybe.
I think.
We're taped. He might be fired while we're talking.
Do you think the NFL even understood that Beyoncé was playing tribute to the Black Panthers?
Oh, hell no. They didn't understand that. That snuck up on them. They wouldn't have allowed something like that. Keep in mind, LeBron James just did a commercial with Public Enemy in which he mouths "Black to the Bone." It's an aggressive song. I don't feel like people noticed because of the way that was packaged. You know what they were noticing about Beyonce. We were all noticing the same thing about Beyonce, and she snuck in some Black Panthers celebration in there, and we were all distracted because, look.
Fishnets is the reason why we were all distracted, because fishnets make everything better. Like, do you realize what she managed to pull off here? Yes, that's a Black Panthers thing. There's dancers taking pictures backstage with signs paying tribute to people killed by the police in San Francisco recently. Like, this is local. The Black Panthers are a Bay Area thing. They got this over on the NFL because they were like, yeah, you're right. That looked real good. You think if they had any idea that she would be anywhere near the stadium under those circumstances? She also has a song that says, I love my Negro nose and Jackson 5 nostrils. That's the greatest sneak-in story in the history of professional sports.
I also think she won't be invited back.
Oh, she might. All she got to do is the same trick she did the first time.
No, I think they're on to her now.
No, they could be on to her. She could have come out there with red, black, and green with a Marcus Garvey t-shirt. If it was with those fishnets, she'd have been on the field.
Did Grayson Allen deserve more than a flag and foul for tripping Raymond Spalding?
That's a tough word for him. You want to try it again?
Flagrant.
Yeah, try it one more time.
Flagrant.
I mean, it's getting worse
say
somehow,
flagrant?
not better.
Flagrant.
I mean, it's a tough word for him. Flagrant is the word he's looking for. Let's see what he deserved. What do you think, Bomani? Right there.
I mean, I guess that's the appropriate call. I don't know if that's a technical foul.
I mean,
you know?
that's tripping. It's just dirty and tripping, and flagrant seems about right. What are you going to do, suspend him for longer?
I mean, it's not like you did to the ref like old buddy at Oregon State did. Right. But similarly, Grayson Allen thinks we're just as dumb as that guy thought he was because he's telling us that he did not do that on purpose. Why does Duke always have that guy?
Right.
What guy?
That guy.
That guy. Last year, that guy was Justice Winslow because that guy doesn't always look the way you're assuming. I'm saying that guy looks. But they've always got somebody doing little stuff like that. Why do they all want to go there?
Usually it doesn't look like. I mean, he did throw a curveball, but usually that's not how he looks. Poppy, let's keep trying that word. I think let's keep trying the word. What kind of foul is it?
Flagrant.
Why is that so hard? Flagrant.
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 You got me on flagrant.
Now it's fragrance.
Flagrant.
It's just
Flagrant. Flagrante. That's the way I pronounce
flagrante is the problem.
Flagrante,
He's
that's
trying
it.
to, yes, flagrante foul.
He can rap like the Bone Thugs in Harmony, but he can't say flagrant.
So strange.
Coming up next on Highly Questionable.
Al will drive and kick. Teague left alone.
Oh. Wow, that's how a dog greets you at home when it's all excited that you're home.
Play the game that feels trapped. Do you question?
You give us topics and events, and we question them. Oh, like the box.
Do you question if Louisville's strength and conditioning coach is in a healthy place?
His name is Ray Ganal. The SNC, generally the last man on campus that you want to fight. Under any circumstance, the SNC is not a man you want to fight. Don't believe me? This is the most SNC-looking SNC in the history of mankind.
Oh, my God. Yeah, that's not healthy. Yes, that's crazy and maniacal. Yes.
You don't understand. They were running possession after possession with an inset of him through the whole game. And, yo, no disrespect to my colleagues at ESPN. It made me very uncomfortable, and I wanted you to stop.
This is not healthy. Like, how is this healthy?
Did they bring those chairs from home? They're red.
Well, I understand what he's going through. It looks like he's trying to pass a kidney stone. That's what is happening
That
to
is
him.
what it looked
That's
like.
right.
I mean, it would look something like that, wouldn't it?
By the way, shout out to the guy on one side of him and the guy on the other side of him because you got the worst seats in the house. My man right there in the pinstripe suit,
Yes.
he probably is the one who gave him the chairs because you're not going to be grabbing on me during the game.
Do you question if the University of Rochester practiced this?
Ooh, boy, you know football season's over because we're showing video of basketball between two schools known for their economics departments. Rochester down by 2. This is the last free throw they're going to shoot on the line. 2.7 seconds left. What do we have?
So you got to miss it. You got to miss it, right? On purpose?
In theory, yes.
They've only got one. Oh, that's well done right
Oh!
there. That is nice right there.
Wow.
They won the game. They didn't even tie it. They won the game.
They won the game, and they're celebrating like what this looks like they just won the intramural championships. Which one of those guys is supposed to be the center?
All right, hold on a second. Can we go back to the very end of that? Look at how happy the referee is to call that. Watch just the referee at the end of this. Like he was thrilled at the end of that. That referee got caught up in the moment, emotional.
Something tells me there was a lot of jump shots in that game.
Oh, I wonder what tells him that. What do you think?
I don't know about jump shots, but there were not a lot of dunks.
It's the same thing.
Do you question if Jack Tick shimmy was necessary?
By the way, not sure if you heard, but the Hawks are thinking about trading everybody. Anyway, they played a game against the Magic. They got up to 20-point lead at one point in this game before ultimately losing in overtime. But what's going on here with Jeff Teague?
Al will drive and kick. Teague left alone.
Oh! Wow, that's how a dog greets you at home when it's all excited that you're home. Yes. And yes is the short answer to the question. That was necessary.
Yeah, while we're on it, can we run that one more time? Because I don't know how we don't discuss this more on our particular television show, but somebody have a talk with your man Schroeder and let him know that's not how we get down in the States. Look at that.
The hair, yeah. He's going demolition man, but he hasn't committed to it.
Oh, that wasn't a chimney. This is a chimney.
Oh, wow. That's unpleasant.
I actually feel like that's an involuntary bodily reaction.
I mean, we might want to call paramedics. I mean, what? Oh, now he's chortling. Now this is chortling of some sort. Silent pantomime chortling.
This is like the worst Charo impression I've ever seen.
What is he doing? I mean, please stop. Come on, man. Oh, I felt your hot breath on my neck.
Do you question if Yusef Nurkic really thought he could get this deal?
All right, Joe Johnson won the game last night in Brooklyn. He won the game with a buzzer beater, and that was the second best thing he did in the game because this was the best thing that he did in the game. Watch this, Bomani.
Woo!
No. I mean,
Wow.
that is hard to do. An ankle break that makes a guy go 15 feet backward.
That's pretty impressive.
Yes, Joe Johnson. I mean, that is really impressive.
Well, let's be honest. The most impressive thing Joe Johnson did after that game, check that direct deposit. Woo!
That wasn't the most embarrassing thing I saw last night.
What was?
Watch this.
Oh, you haven't seen this?
No.
Oh!
Mozgov. Oh, wow, that rim.
Oh,
Stubborn.
how do you say Mozgov drinks Sprite in Russian?
Well, I can tell you. Drink Sprite and all. Vodka, Sprite, Russia, the Kremlin, Putin, yeah,
the Aflac duck while it's
Putin.
Did you say Putin or Poutine? Or Putin? Because those are three different things.
Pooping is what it sounded like he said.
Coming up next on my son's TV show.
James Harden against Portland.
Ooh.
Oh, that's CJ McCollum. Oh, James.
Oh.
James. How many times did he get juked on that? Oh, James. Oh, wow. That is so many kinds of bad.
Room floor, play Nintendo with Sis and Nino. Pick up my phone, say Papa not home. Sex all night, man. In the moon. Spin my V, smoke on my weed. Tattoo on, saying B.I.G. Now check it. You want to be my man squeeze, baby, don't you? You want to give me what I need, baby, won't you? Highly questionable is broadcast from the Clevelander Hotel on beautiful South Beach, Miami. Time for another one of my seductive interview medleys.
They're not terribly seductive, but they're just some interviews that we've done over the weeks and months. Here are some of the best bits from those interviews. We talked to Mike Singletary last week. He told us the story of dropping his pants in the locker room. You were in there. What did you think to yourself as all of that was happening?
I was just laughing. I didn't want him to see me laughing, but I was laughing. It was so funny, but it was. I didn't want to laugh because we was losing, but he came in there and he was just like, if you want to give it to him, just pull your pants down and give it to him. He just pulled his pants down and bent over. I wanted to laugh so bad.
He claims it was just Long Johns. He claims he wasn't hanging out, that it was just Long Johns.
He had his boxers on. It was crazy. Like it shocked me to see Mike Singletary come down and pull his pants down and bend over.
How hard was it to fight that laugh? Right? Because
Well,
that's
he
your
lost.
boss on top of everything
He lost,
else.
though. It sounds like he didn't fight the last. It sounds like you lost.
I tried to fight. I couldn't. I had to just put my head down and start laughing. And then as I looked to the side, I see about 10 people doing the exact same thing. It was so funny. I couldn't. It was like one of the best memories I ever had playing in the NFL.
Can you explain to us what the 2 days after the Thrilla in Manila looked like?
Oh, my God. We had a 2-day party, which was the wildest thing I have ever done in the 84 years that I've been on this earth. It was a party to remember. I've never seen and participated in anything like it. And don't ask me what I did, because I'm not going to tell you.
Whoa, no, Aaron, come on. You're famously honest except when you're lying. Come on. Drugs, orgy, liquor, what do we got? Let's go, Aram.
There were no drugs. Liquor orgies, I'm not going to answer.
Okay, but there are no drugs. Oh, okay, so
He denied the drug use.
we've narrowed it, though. Like, I have a clearer idea now.
I feel, Bob, like we got you. I feel like you've confirmed that.
Well, I didn't confirm or deny, but I'm not going to answer that. But I'm going to talk. If you ask me about drug use, I deny that.
Okay. That's a confirmation then. We'll take that as a confirmation, right?
Well,
If you had...
you
We'll take it as
Go
a
ahead.
confirmation. We're moving on. We're moving on. If I gave you in all those years in boxing, I gave you a do-over. What are you going back and doing over? Look, you're still smiling thinking about the orgies. I see it on your face. I see it on your face.
That's pretty true. And you've ruined me for the rest of the interview.
Let's just end it that way. Get out of here, Bob. It sounds like it was a great time. See you later. Good talking to you.
All right, nice talking to you.
That's got to be the first time that's happened on ESPN.
Time to play the game that is contemplating retirement. See? Or no?
Tell us what's on television tonight. He'll never pick up the no card.
On TNT tonight, Spurs and Heat.
Yeah, this will be fun. The other night, though, look at what happened. The Spurs were blowing out Dallas. Salah Mejri plays for the Dallas Mavericks. They're down 20, and look what happens after he dunks. He decides, bang, I'm going to stare at the bench. Looked at Pop. And I got you. I dunked. What are we doing? Why are you yelling at me? You're down 20, and we're great, and you're not. He's confused by this. All right, and I'm going to fix this by...
I wish I'd have said that to you, Coach.
putting this guy out there. Well, Monty, are you intrigued?
That's what it takes to get Tim Duncan to laugh in public. That's what it takes.
Right,
You
right.
thought you were so intimidating staring down the bench. You cracked Timmy.
Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. But listen, I don't care about the Spurs. I just want to see Hassan Whiteside. Did you see what he did? He did last week?
Yeah, triple-double, 10, 10, and 10. Ooh. Off the bench, yeah, in like 20-something minutes.
And somehow manages to make his team worse on defense.
I don't understand how that happens. That's a pretty good block, though.
By the way, the guy doing the finger roll, the guy the Hawks took instead of Chris Paul. Way to go.
Block that with his elbow.
The late game on TNT, Rockets and Warriors.
Yeah, I'm in on all things Warriors, including watching James Harden tonight try to play defense against a team that's totally indefensible. Let's go to a clip here of James Harden against Portland.
Ooh.
Oh, that's CJ McCollum. Oh, James.
Oh.
James. How many times did he get juked on that? Oh, James. Oh, wow. That is so many kinds of bad. Bomani, are you intrigued?
Hard looking at that clip like, see, that's why I don't be trying. Like, what's the point? Why would I even do that? It's going to look like layup lines in that game tonight.
Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. Listen, I'm telling you, the Rockets are going to go for a big game tonight. You know, the running beer is going to show the entire basketball world that he can compete against Stephen Curry, and he can compete against Draymond Green, and he can compete against Klay Thompson and the whole bunch of guys. You know, he's going to show the entire world that he got what it takes.
Name one more Warrior.
Wait a second. I
I mean, you got three of them. You got another one in you. Come on, Poppy, you got it.
Oh yeah, the Latino guy. What's his name? Leandro Barbosa.
Yeah.
On Showtime, 60 Minutes Sports.
They're talking to Cam Newton. Cam Newton before the Super Bowl. Let's see what we got.
If you had to change your celebratory style, what would that do to your game if you had to stop being exuberant on the field?
I don't know if I had to change it. I wouldn't even want to think of that sort. You know, but for what it's worth, I'm gonna keep doing whatever I'm doing because it got me to this point, and hopefully I can get one more win.
You're at the doorstep.
Right.
Will you be Joshua to take him into the promised land is the question.
I'm hoping. I can't promise anything, but I could tell you this. It's going to be a person that's going to be out there on Super Bowl Sunday prepared and living the dream.
No, thank you. I've had quite enough Cam coverage. Love Cam Newton coverage, but I've had enough. Need to detox a little bit. Bomani, are you intrigued?
Oh, boy, smartest thing Cam ever did was to not do the full Broadway Joe to that question. Because can you imagine what would happen if he said, oh, yeah, we're going to win?
Yes, that's true. Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. You know, I can't wait to see how that game ends up. You know, I hope he wins the game. You know, I mean, the guy's right there at the doorstep.
Yes.
You know, right there. You know, I mean, telling you one thing. You know, that's his life dream.
Yeah. All right. Spoiler alert.
That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching.
The Right Time with Bomani Jones, 4 to 7 Eastern every day on ESPN Radio. Check it out. Thanks for watching.
Gracias. See you mañana.
Ring, ring. Juanito, put everything on Cam Newton and the Panthers. I got this feeling, you know, that it's going to. Yeah, that's it, buddy. Until everything I got, you know, I think I'm going to get rich after the game. Unless Von Miller has a great game.
Yes, unless that. All right. I'm so scared of Von Miller having a